Ravens fan, today's game is everything you need to understand that nobody is going to stop Baltimore. Today, our team is stepping onto the field with confidence that no one can ignore. Lamar is flying. The defense is as solid as a rock, and the Ravens are showing with every game that they're on a level nobody expects. But is that enough to secure another victory? What will happen when the pressure mounts? In this video, we'll break it all down. How the offense will perform against a challenging defense, the secret behind this unstoppable force, and what we need to do to ensure today's win is ours. By the end of this, you'll understand everything about today's game and why Baltimore is ready to show that no one can stop the Ravens. Stay tuned, because what's coming next could be a spectacle. Go Ravens! The Steelers come into this matchup in a delicate situation. After a string of 4 straight losses, the team has shown serious difficulties in multiple areas. Noah Strackbine, who covers the team's daily operations, pointed out that lack of execution has been the main problem. Simple mistakes, disorganization, and a lack of impactful plays have cost them dearly. Even the defense, which managed to close the regular season with a strong performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, has suffered from communication breakdowns throughout the campaign. From the outside, it's clear the team has lost its balance and is feeling the weight of its roster limitations. This decline in performance is something the Ravens need to take advantage of. Baltimore's defense, one of the best in the NFL, has a golden opportunity to put pressure on the Steelers' offense, which has struggled to find solutions. Players like Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton can shine in this scenario, taking advantage of the opponent's inconsistency to force turnovers or limit offensive progress. When the other side is vulnerable, the chance to control the game's pace and dominate grows significantly, and that's exactly what the Ravens need to do. On offense, the moment is also favorable for Lamar Jackson and company. With the Steelers' defense facing communication and execution problems, Baltimore's ground game could be the key to breaking the game's balance. The offensive line will have to open the necessary gaps, but with players like Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, clock control and possession management become crucial weapons. This is the kind of game where every detail matters, and exploiting the opponent's weaknesses will be essential for securing the win. What makes this matchup even more interesting is the battle in the middle of the field, where players like Cam Hayward and Keanu Benton will have the task of stopping the Ravens' powerful ground. This direct confrontation promises to be decisive, leading us to the next point: the importance of the battle between the Steelers' defense and Baltimore's running. One of the most important battles in today's game will be between the Ravens' ground attack and the Steelers' defensive line. Cam Hayward and Keanu Benton are the pillars of that defense, and their mission will be to contain the power of our running. Hayward, despite his experience, still has the gas to hold up against runs and create pressure. Benton, a young rising star, has been improving in recent weeks and becoming a key piece in Pittsburgh's defensive scheme. Their success in this task could decide the fate of the game, but the Ravens have enough weapons to overcome this challenge. Our ground game has been one of the most consistent in the NFL, with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards leading the charge. The offensive line, led by guys like Tyler Linderbaum, will be essential for opening holes and allowing the running game to flow. Plus, Lamar Jackson, with his unique ability to run and improvise, is a constant threat that demands attention from the Steelers. If the Ravens manage to set their tempo and control the clock, it will be hard for Pittsburgh to keep up. But this battle isn't just about physical strength, it's also about strategy. The Ravens need to use variations in the playbook to confuse the Steelers' defense. Option plays with Lamar, quick screens, and runs in different zones can make Pittsburgh's defensive line work harder, keeping them a step behind. When an offense is creative and consistent, it doesn't just wear down the opposing defense, it also robs them of any confidence they might have. While the Ravens' running game is a major strength, Pittsburgh's defense is evolving in other areas, especially in the middle of the field. This raises the question: is the Steelers' defense really ready to face Baltimore's complete offense? That's what we're going to explore next. In recent weeks, the Steelers' defense has shown signs of improvement. At the end of the regular season, they managed to limit Joe Burrow and the Bengals to just 19 points, which caught attention. Noah Strackbine mentioned that since the last Ravens-Steelers matchup, Pittsburgh's defense has adjusted better and reduced errors. But is this evolution enough to stop an offense as dynamic as Baltimore's? The big question lies in consistency. Pittsburgh has solid players on defense, but occasional breakdowns still emerge in the most critical moments. Against a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, who knows how to seize every opportunity, these small mistakes could turn into explosive plays. Moreover, the lack of depth on the Steelers' roster could become an issue as the game goes on, especially if the Ravens maintain a fast and aggressive pace. On the other hand, George Pickens' presence in Pittsburgh's offense can take some pressure off the defense. Even with an inconsistent performance recently, Pickens is a weapon that demands attention, forcing the Ravens' defense to divide its focus. However, the success of this strategy heavily relies on near-perfect execution, something that has been lacking for the Steelers in recent years. With Pittsburgh's defense struggling to find consistency and their offense trying to avoid mistakes, Baltimore has the chance to exploit these weaknesses and take control of the game. But to win, the Ravens must ensure that the clock is on their side, which brings us to the next point: how possession control can be the key to success. Alright, we've passed the halfway mark in the video, but I noticed you haven't hit that like button yet. It's super important for YouTube to keep showing you my content, so please go ahead and leave a like. It's free, and it really helps out. Thanks. Now let's keep going. Controlling the clock will be essential for the Ravens in this matchup. The Steelers have shown that when they can establish their offense, their defense ends up becoming overwhelming. Baltimore can take advantage of this by using the running game to keep Pittsburgh's offense off the field and ensure that Lamar Jackson has time to exploit the weaknesses of the opposing defense. The key is efficiency. It's not just about burning time. It's about converting those possessions into points. Finishing drives with touchdowns instead of field goals will be crucial. The Steelers' defense is resilient, but if the Ravens can score early and put pressure on the scoreboard, Pittsburgh will be forced to step out of their game plan and take more risks. This creates an opening for Baltimore's defense to generate turnovers and change the course of the game. Furthermore, clock control directly benefits the Ravens' defense, allowing it to stay rested and focused. Players like Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen will have more energy to pressure the Steelers' quarterback and neutralize any attempts at a comeback. It's a cycle that favors Baltimore. An efficient offense supports a dominant defense, and vice versa. This approach not only weakens the opponent, but also establishes a game pace that the Ravens can control from start to finish. And in the end, will this be enough to secure the victory? The answer may lie in the predictions and confidence on both sides, which we'll explore in the next section. Looking at the analyses, the Ravens come into this game as the more complete and prepared team. The consistency in their offense, the strength of their defense, and their experience in high-stakes games put Baltimore at an advantage. Noah Strackbine even acknowledged that the Steelers are in a tough spot, but still predicted a 24-21 win for Pittsburgh, believing in their positive playoff history against the Ravens. However, this confidence from the Steelers might be more emotional than practical. Despite having good moments throughout the season, their execution issues and reliance on individual plays raise doubts about their ability to overcome a well-structured team like Baltimore. Meanwhile, the Ravens have shown balance in all areas, which will be crucial in such a tightly contested game. But playoffs are unpredictable, and that's exactly what makes this game so exciting. Baltimore may have the advantage on paper, but they'll need to prove it on the field, playing with intensity from start to finish. There's no room for errors, and every possession will matter. A winning mindset and flawless execution will be the deciding factors in determining who advances and who falls short. Now, all that's left is to wait for the opening whistle and see which team is more prepared for the challenge. Baltimore has everything it needs to win, but the playoffs always hold surprises. What's clear is that regardless of the outcome, this game will be a true test for the Ravens, both strategically and in terms of determination. So, Ravens fan, after analyzing everything at stake today, it's clear that we have all the ingredients for another big one. The strength of our offense, the solidity of our defense, and Lamar's leadership are the perfect recipe for no one to stop us. But of course, victory won't come easy. Every detail will count, and the pressure will be enormous. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Ravens can maintain this rhythm and prove that no one can stop this team today? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything happening with Baltimore. Let's go together on this journey.